Hello, hello. I'm having a bit of trouble with the sound. I'm gonna check this out. Do you hear this? Do we at all? I think so. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. All I did was the only thing I know how to do. Restart my computer. And try again. It seems to have worked. So this is your narrator speaking, Mr. Awesome. And Mr. Awesome today is going to continue our playthrough of Mudsford. We have a need for more people to do more work. We have plenty of food and not enough resources going on. Let us start building some of these. Which means the most important thing we can do right now is increase the number of people working at the saw pit. The second most important thing we can do is build a work camp. But in order to do that, we first need a wagon shop. A wagon shop does not cause any problem no matter where you put it. People will not be angry living near a wagon shop, so we're going to put the wagon shop down there. Today's the last day of the school work year, I guess you can call it. Winter break begins now. Students are all going home. I worked at a science class yesterday. It was quite exciting. I went off the rails. I went really off the rails. Because they're a science class, and the second class was really talkative. The first class was 8th grade. And they stayed on target. They were doing test makeup. So they already took the test. But if they wanted points back, they could change some of their answers. So they had an extra answer sheet that was given to them, and the opportunity to figure out what they did wrong and correct them for some makeup points. It's probably not full points that they're going to get, but they had to explain the concept of what it was that they had missed, if that makes sense. And looking at a few of the problems, it was about heat exchange, convection, conduction, radiation, and just some simple, middle school explanations of the science behind heat exchange. The second class was 7th grade, and I think we underestimate how intelligent kids of that age are. They are quite intelligent, and as they began to become overly talkative and not getting their work done. That's the fertility button, by the way. You can see where you can... That's the same as pushing down here and looking at that. And if you build a farm, it'll automatically tell you where the best places are to put a farm. Some of this land that isn't great for farming is actually okay for things like barns, arborist buildings. We can't put a barn down, but we can put an arborist building down, so let's do that. I want my city to grow around this area, so I want to move this to a place where it's off and away from. So we're just gonna build that straight up. Oh, did we make a mistake there? I think we did. There we go. That's actually a really good place to put a work camp, come to think of it. Is there a better place we can put this too? We've been exploring a bit more. That is slightly better, but I don't know it's much better. Might just be a perspective thing because they're all grouped together. I don't know if that really means there's more stuff to collect there. Or if it just looks that way because it's centralized. Anyway, so the second period class, I just stood up and I just started talking to him a little bit. I mentioned that I was a geologist, that I was working in California, and such, and that I came home and I began doing substitute teaching because I don't have work. And I'm trying to start up a channel, so, you know, all 4 people that watch my videos. We'll get there eventually. Eventually we're going to have 4,000, and then eventually we're going to have 8,000, and then eventually we're going to have 4,000 again. And we're going to wonder why 4,000 people left the channel. But eventually we'll get there. And so I don't want to go take too much time. I just want to even that out. Anyway, so I mentioned that to the kids, and one of them raised his hand and said, "What is the coolest thing you've ever seen?" And I said, well, nearby, not too far away, up in the mountains, there is a ski resort. And the ski resort bought a mine across the street from the ski resort because they didn't want mining going on across the street from the ski resort and all the mining trucks and all that stuff and the pollution and whatever. They would make far more money off of skiing than they ever would off of a mine. So they bought the mine and closed it. And so it was an active mine. In this case, it is a granite plume that was moving up through layers of limestone. And when you get something like that, what happens is the melted magma, as it's rising toward the surface, the outer edge of the magma pool is positively charged, and that's because it's attracted to the negative charge of the limestone, the slightly negative charge of the limestone. And so that pulls some of the metallic elements in the melt, right? So in the melted plume of magma rising toward the surface, some of that melt has metal elements in it, and that metal is attracted to the outer edge of the magma plume because that's where the negative charge from the limestone is felt the strongest. And we're talking about over the course of millions of years, a magma plume will take millions of years to cool down when it can't breach the surface. And so this magma plume goes up and it gets stuck and it doesn't rise any higher, and it cools down over a period of millions of years, and so that metal is attracted to the outside edge and it migrates to the outside edge. So in ancient times, whenever they found granite, they would dig around it on the edges and they would find stuff like gold and silver. And they didn't really understand why that's where they would find gold and silver. We kind of understand it now. But they knew that when you find granite, there was a chance that you could find gold and silver. So when the miners came out here from the East Coast and they were looking for gold, whenever they found plumes of granite, they would dig around in that area. And so this mine was there up until about 1960. And it was closed in around 1960 because the ski resort. So they just abandoned all their stuff just lying on the ground. There's mining equipment just lying there. There's a hole in the ground. There's several holes in the ground because it was an active mine. And there are piles of dirt and rocks that they just threw off to the side, what we'd call mine tailings, because they would mix arsenic in these great big barrels, and they would throw rock in there and they would mix arsenic into it, and they would try and draw gold out of the rock into the arsenic. Gold is mostly non-reactive, but it is a metal, and because it is a metal, it will be somewhat attracted to the arsenic, and so you can draw some of the gold out of the rock by mixing it in these giant barrels of arsenic. And so when they were done, they just dumped it. Right? This is 1940s, 50s, 60s, 30s. You know, how old was this mine? And so the soil is contaminated with arsenic. And whenever they found lead, because the same process of looking for gold finds lead, they would just dump it. And so the soil is contaminated with lead and arsenic in these mine tailings. Luckily, the stream that comes off of this mine goes through limestone, and the limestone acts like a filter. And it does at this particular site. This doesn't always happen, but at this particular site, it does clean the water before it gets to the valley. So you can actually, down below, you know, 2,000 feet down in the valley where all the cities are and stuff like that, you can actually drink the creek water coming out of this canyon because it's been filtered through the limestone. Nature isn't always so lucky, but in this case it is. But you can still go up there and you can grab just buckets of dirt from the mine tailings and leach out the copper, because they weren't after copper, they just tossed it. One of my professors went up there with a couple of buckets with his brother, and they filled them up with soil and dirt, and they brought them down, and they put it in a bath of hydrochloric acid, and then they extracted the copper out of it and sold each bucket for $40. How much copper they got out of it. So that's kind of a fun story to tell. The company across the street doesn't mind if you do that, because taking a couple of buckets while you're hiking of soil and dirt is not the same as, you know, bringing in heavy mining equipment. And again, they're just interested in skiing. But up there at this site, you can find bits of azurite and bits of malachite just sitting on the ground, because they were tossed by the miners. They weren't looking for copper. And so there's also a malachite vein right there, sticking right out of the ground. You can go walk up to this malachite vein and just break pieces off with your rock hammer and take them back with you. It's pretty amazing. We're stuck in the wagon shop, so we've got a wagon going. That's good. Let's not put food in there, folks. Thank you. There's a reason for that. You'll learn as the game goes on. Arborist building. We're getting good. What is your... Okay, so nobody's up here. You are down here. Some hawthorn. Some mushrooms. Let's make sure you get those mushrooms better. Some hawthorn, some mushrooms. Oh, there's a wolf den right there. And the hazelnut. Let's build our arborist buildings, because we're gonna be tearing these down in seconds. Oh, shoot. Before that, we need this. The things you don't remember you need. Work camp. This is a great place for a work camp right here, because there's wood and there's rock, and so they can be at that for a long time. So that was the story I told them, and then they asked some other questions, and so I began answering questions, and they were asking some questions like about time and about black holes, and so I was explaining to them some of the problems in physics, some of the unknowns that we get to when we look at the way the universe works. And I put a quote up on the board which was a writer. He was I think he was a science fiction writer. I'm not entirely sure I remember clearly. But I think he was a science fiction writer who said the universe is not stranger than we imagine, it's stranger than we can imagine. And I think that's forever true. 58%. Doesn't get really much better than that. Okay, this is... some of the things about, like, one of the kids asked, for example, what's beyond the universe? And I was like, well, that's a good question. And we know from zero-point energy, or vacuum energy, which exists in every block of space, that space has energy in it, right? And so that space, if you are outside the universe and there is space outside the universe, then it would have vacuum energy in it, and that vacuum energy would exert a force into the universe. So as the universe expands into space, that space would push back against it from this vacuum energy, which exists in volume of space. We don't see that. There is no evidence at all that the universe has a force exerting on it from the outside in. And so there is nothing outside the universe. There is actual, real nothing. Like, we don't even understand or comprehend what that means. The level of nothing that exists beyond the universe. It is beyond our understanding. It is just plain and simple, absolute nothing. It is a timeless, spaceless void. And what does that even mean, to be a timeless and spaceless void? Where time doesn't exist, space doesn't exist, volume doesn't exist. Because if it did, we would know it. Ah, crap. Where are you?
All right.
Go.
As you say. Done.
God damn it! Tell you to move. Okay, that's mostly children. We don't want children. Let's see. Where do we have workers? Where do we have workers? We have workers up here. Okay. Grab some
Of
workers.
course.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, then.
I told him to move like 5 times, and he just stood there attacking. And if something's in your way, get out of the way! Pathing, folks, pathing!
Of course.
So they were a pretty good class. Asked some really good questions. The class after that, and there was only 3 classes that day. We're turning our junior highs into colleges, and that's not good. A kid can't concentrate for an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, and these classes are an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes long, depending on what school district you're in.
Of course.
I taught in 2 school districts, and the lengths of the classes are a bit different from school to school, but they're pretty much unified at about an hour and 30 to an hour and 45 minutes long. And a 7th grade student cannot concentrate for an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes long. Gathering some stuff. Boys and girls, we need a little bit more wood. We just need enough for these 2 buildings right here. Oh, yeah! Oh. Wow. We have somebody there. Okay. Okay. So what we need now is workers. Alright. We're losing people. Death by bear. Bears suck. Bears so suck. Let's grab this. Go that way-ish. Put a couple houses down. Maybe encourage some people to move in or have babies or something. Babies take 6 years to grow up. 16 years. So if we have babies this year, it's going to be like year 20, 25, somewhere in that area, 20, before they grow up. We may have sacrificed all of our leeks for that bear. Oh, we've got enough food. We'll get through the winter. So yeah, great kids. You know, they just needed somebody to pay attention to. And, you know, it's nice to be able to answer kids' questions because they have questions. They watch science fiction on television. Or, you know, streaming. They watch movies and they get questions and they want to know, you know, is like what I saw in Interstellar correct, for example. Yeah, there's nothing we could do about the rot. It's just... We had to kill that bear, and I don't want to grab children, because when you do this, you grab kids in their houses. Like, little Mala there. We don't want Mala fighting a bear. Yeah, our builders will become laborers as time goes on, and we'll be able to. Yeah, so he became a work camp guy because he got done building, and so it auto assigned it to work camp. We'll just keep him there. And this is one of the most important things you can get, of course, because it means you have a steady supply of wood and stone forever without having to rely on workers that are inconsistent in what they're doing. These guys are dedicated. It's bad about the leaks. Building is on fire! It's the smokehouse. Well, the people will do a bucket brigade. So you see them coming over here, and they'll come over to the nearest well, and they'll get water, and they'll do a bucket brigade to put out the fire. Oof! So they got one fire out. Are they going to be able to put out the other fire? He's picking up the buckets. Really? You guys are just gonna let that building burn? 3 people are putting it out, huh? Huh.
Hello there?
Putting out fire. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Got a few people coming. I'm just a little concerned because they put their buckets on the ground. Wood splitters splitting wood right next to a fire. We're gonna lose that building. Oh, it got out. Oh, barely. Barely held on. Need tons of repairs. Smokehouse there. I guess you could make a smokehouse out of stone and wood. I guess that makes sense. This is just wood on wood on wood. We've got our little marketplace here now. It's got items in it. Got some meat. Got some berries. I don't know where the barrels come from. You make a cooper later, but it's not a cooper yet. And firewood. I guess they sell firewood. Yeah, firewood. People come here for smoked meat. Feels like a real town when you've got a marketplace. We got somebody working there. We got
Work to be done.
He wanted water for his house, for his mansion in training. Oh, he was making a delivery. Oh, well, maybe not. Where does he live? Does he live in... Alright. Taking a break. Shelter stocking. I took 3 buckets of water. Where's he going with it? Is he making deliveries? He makes deliveries. House calls. You know, I was unaware of what the grocer did. I thought he stayed at the grocer. I never really followed him around. This dude looks like, what's his name? The actor. Oh, it's getting cold. Those 4 rocks. Well, what are you doing? Where are you going? Click, click, come on, come on. Oh,
Need something?
There we go, Alta. She's a Sawyer. Alta the Sawyer. Or Alta Sawyer. Two people got their names. Good old Tom. She came all the way to the work camp to get wood. You grabbed 1 wood. 1. Normally what's supposed to happen is they're supposed to put that wood in a storage, and then she's supposed to go to the storage to get it. But because they're out of wood, and they don't have anything to do, as soon as wood is created, they go grab it themselves. Looks like a little outhouse. Little cooking pot. I guess nobody really lives here. But it's more like a place to rest and put your stone and wood when you gather it. There's probably some ways to like increase your efficiency super high by like keeping everything close together and stuff like that, but meh. Like, and I'm not gonna put a work camp really close to town because that's where people have already gathered up all the rocks and wood. Chatting, you are out of. So let's turn the building off because they have no arrows anymore. We need a Fletcher building. Everything needs wood. That on hold. Main reason why is once it gets built, 2 people are gonna start trying to gather clay. That'll make the situation even worse. Man, we have a lot of food. I told you before, this is a relaxing game. Not a lot goes on. We just sit here and watch. And follow people on their jobs. Oh, there's a kid. Shelter stocking. They're 6 years old. How adorable. She's carrying wood for her parents. Aya. Or Aya. Got a little garden path going on here. Preacher. Hello, preacher. Like the little tricorn hats. Winter's ending. Grass is coming out. Yeah, well, too bad. The only thing we can cut is the sawyers. That's the only thing we can cut. And even if I cut all the sawyers, it wouldn't be enough laborers for the town. Laborers mostly just cut wood and stone anyway.
What is it?
Chopping trees, chopping trees, chopping trees. Burying deceased.
Need anything?
Chopping trees, chopping trees, chopping trees. Ah, that's what they do. Send a lone person burying a deceased villager. Thank you very much for your assistance. Person that was killed by a bear. You can tell how it gets kind of hard sometimes because now our food production is lower because we don't have any arrows and we don't have enough people to build a Fletcher building and have people working at the Fletcher building, which wouldn't work anyway because we don't have the wood for producing bows and arrows. So it just goes around in a circle. That is finished. Trees. Stockpiling logs. What did they produce in the last year? 6? Well, they just got started. We are growing flax. We're gonna have a flagpole soon.
Hmm?
There's a smoker. You smoking. Look at his little hat. Yeah, he's got a little hat.
What needs doing?
Disappears. Inside he goes. Pretty good. Hit 400. Keeping the people fed. I'm gonna fall asleep. Knowledge generated. Neat. We want grain crops eventually. I think I may just make hour-long videos with this game because it does get rather slow. But there's going to be moments of sheer and utter terror.
Hello there.
Farmer praying. That's neat. Like when they have lives. She's got her beans and her smoked meat. Garden. Victoria.
Aye.
They're also a farmer. I guess farmers have that look about
What needs doing?
them. Raiders approaching. Yay. Like I said, interspersed with moments of pure terror. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Upper cabin, you are out of arrows as well. We will need to build a Fletcher building soon. Yep. What's this guy doing? Oh, that's a tanner. What's this guy doing? Fishing.
Yes.
Hello, Aaliyah. You can see the fish in the water. Jump. Don't know how that many large fish survive in this tiny pond. Whatever, man. Another fishing shoal right there. Well, I think they're having trouble figuring out how to get around the lake. I wonder if this pool of water here isn't connected to the lake, like through some underground tunnel. Because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, look at the fish jumping! Look at the fish jumping there in the grass. Lovely. To wood. We're starting to build stuff. We need those 2 houses built so we can get more people. No guarantee that we'll get more people. But we need to try anyway. Now it's being raided. Look. 2 guys. 3 guys. Okay, where are you? You're there. Let's see what we can do to keep you safe. 4 guys, 5 guys, 5 guys. 5 guys.
Will do.
Maybe
Okay then.
I got an idea. Never talk to the other fishermen.
Okay then.
So we can have a conversation about the nature of fish. Alright. Got 12 food, so I guess it's safe enough. Because what happens when you do that is some of the people put down their work and go into the town hall. That's our only defense right now. This will start shooting arrows when those guys get close enough. And I don't know what they're shooting out of. I guess the windows. Kids all go inside. That's great. Maybe the kids get some kills. There's 6-year-old little Sally. Here's Sally. Here's a bow and arrow. Go murder some people. Their fault. They came to cause trouble in our village. And I like how this dude is just like walking around and he's like, yeah, we already know how to do the combat controls if you want to look at it. Right? You can always pause it and check that out. I like how people are like walking around like, oh,
Hello there.
Oh, wait, no. Ah. Is that done? Let's release him from his job. He becomes a regular citizen. Fish. Where the arrows come from, I do not know. He's trying to get some food. Like, I don't blame these guys. They're hungry, but this is not the way to do it, gentlemen. The way to do it is not to raid a village. Like, at least come into the village and ask for help. They want to raid the place. Did he get anything? Or is he just running because he's taking damage from too many arrows and he's afraid his buddies have died? Village was raided. 3 raiders killed. 0 villagers killed. Just wait until they come into town and obliterate the town. Fun. I tell you, it's fun. They all leave and go about their work. So that's why you don't want to delay them too long.
Hello there.
Oh yeah, look at that. Or Wainwright. And in the past, like if they were attacked by anything, the Wainwright would continue to drive the wagon, despite the fact that they were being murdered. So they would just keep sitting there like a bear is attacking, and they'll just keep sitting there, and the bear will just continue pounding on them until they're dead. Or the raiders will keep attacking them until they're dead. Or whatever. Whatever's attacking them, they'll just take it. But now they finally get off their wagon and run away. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous before. Oh, house is done. This is a temporary shelter. You'll see the difference when it's finished. Soon, we'll be able to build one of these. We're almost there, in fact. Well, let's at least put it down. The only thing we're really missing is wood. We won't construct it because we need the wood for these 2 houses. We need more people. Oh, We paused it. My little 6 farmers. One of them's not here. They're growing flax.
Hello there?
Work camp laborer, chopping logs. Don't know how you get logs out of a bush, but you know, whatever. How you doing?
Need something?
Dressed. He's shelter stocking. He's carrying firewood. So his little camp out in the middle of nowhere has firewood. Was Breast the guy that we had before? No, we had a lady before that got enough food for us to survive the first winter. I thought our hunter would be enough, but gosh, we're running out of food. So it was our gatherer that saved us, foraging mushrooms. People have different outfits depending on their jobs, which is kind of cool. Like Aska did the same thing, but you had to make the clothes in Aska. These guys just automatically acquire it. There's some mushrooms. I don't know. Maybe those aren't edible. This guy knows what's up. He knows what mushrooms don't kill you. Right, there we go. Mining stone, chopping trees.
Hello there.
Hello there. Just talking more like Obi-Wan Kenobi. One, two, three, four, five, six. We got all 6. 4 people died. 4 people have died. Sorting. So let's reduce these guys because I like to keep them, but confirm. I know we need more houses. So if you want to read that, you can read it. But we already know about how housing works. Yeah, if you want to read it, you can pause and read it. I hate to release those guys from their job, but I need wood. We have a guy up here doing nothing, don't we? Yes. So we turned it off. Okay. 12 stone. Very nice. Ugh. It's already hardest. I mean, there's wood up here you guys need to get. Looks like they harvested all the other wood. Might as well. Everything else is bushes. Yeah, that cool old tree in the center of town, we cut it down! Cut them all down. Military monument. Didn't have that before. That's new. Economic monument. That's new. Civic monument. Ah, this is interesting. Crypt. That was fairly new. Like, it didn't exist like 6 months ago. 12 people. Hey, look at that. Now we have villagers. Housing shortage. Well, let's build some more houses. Let's do 3. And then, build it like that. Build it like that. And that way we can put 2 more houses here and here. So people get to live next to the shrine. Hooray. Chop them trees. Nice. One wood. Do we have enough workers now? We do. Okay, let's... First of all, let's increase that by 2. And let's increase that by 2. More wood faster. That helped a lot, getting those extra people. It's exactly what we needed. I'd like that, but the wood cost is too high for the fact that we need to get these people housed. 1 wood is irrelevant, so... Bushes. Let's grab the bushes too. Why not? Wood is wood. Housing shortage. I know there's a housing shortage. Where's our people doing work? Chopping trees.
Hello.
30 years old, no education. That'll become important later. From this close, it kind of does look like Aska. These forests you put chopping down. More wood. More wood. We need... Let's... Nope. Like if it made a cool curve, I'd probably do it, but it didn't make a cool curve. We need a Fletcher building. We need a basket shop. We need a cobbler shop. We need a tan. No, we got a tannery. We need a Fletcher building. Basket shop. Cobbler shop. Yes, that's too much all at once, but as we get wood, as we get planks, we'll be able to build those straight away. Oh, let's get 7 people. We don't need that many people as laborers because we have a work camp. They perform essentially the same function. One more wood, they've built it! Success! Our people are housed. Oh wow, we're running out of food. Well, that's because we just brought in a bunch more people, and our farm this year is not producing food.
Hello there.
Harvesting crops. That's how they harvest flax, huh? Okay. Nice. Wolf Den, we'll ignore that for a little while longer. Don't know how big this lake is, but let's see if we can start uncovering how big it is. Before, you wouldn't be able to put a flag down if it was over water. Now they let you put the flag down, but your guy can't reach it. So it's a little different. That way, your guy gets as close to it as possible, within reason. So that way you can't just plot out where water is by setting down a bunch of flags and trying to figure out what the water is on your map. I guess that's why they got rid of it. No, wrong button. Everybody's mining stone. That's fine. Like we can alter it. So if you see this, we can make the ratio more trees. So now we're chopping 2 trees for every 1 stone. And I think we'll leave it on that for now because we have a lot of stone and we don't have a lot of wood. Chopping down them trees. I think we have enough for those 2 houses. 6. And once that gets done, we got our cobbler shop. How many leather pieces do we have? 2. 2. That's because we don't have any hunters. Oh well, our tannery's gonna shut down. Cobbler shop's gonna shut down. But we'll get those back up and running, and then we'll start getting leather again. Oh well. Some guy chopped down that tree and just abandoned it. Thanks, dude. I was hoping the Fletcher building would be finished first, but whatever. Let's abandon building that. All that planks can go to that. And then we'll rebuild it. Basket shop is really useful because it gives everybody baskets that they can carry around, and they're basically like backpacks. Don't know why. They're not just backpacks. But whatever. They're baskets. And they carry them on their backs. Like backpacks. I like how they put them away in the stockyard. And now somebody's gonna have to get them out of it. They're just right there. So he's gonna have to get them out of the stockyard now in order to put them in the building site. Yep, ran out of leather. Alright, we'll get the leather going as soon as the Fletcher building's going. We'll hire 2 more hunters. Are we overstressing the new people we've gotten? Yes. Does it matter? No. We don't have many people left, but we have enough. And they're all housed. Hooray! 2 more houses for the future. Nice. Haha. Our garden path continues that way, and then that way, and whatever. I like how our altar is right next to the garden path. Okay, let's put the basket shop back up. Yes, this really strains our labor pool, but we also want this. More arrows, less bows. How many educated people do we have, I wonder?
What needs doing?
Education, none.
Hmm?
None, none, none.
Yes?
None.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Need something?
None.
Need something?
None. This is terrible. We have
What
no
needs
educated
doing?
people in our village. If we built a school, nobody would be able to work there.
What is it?
Basic. We have Serdan, the cobbler. Thank you, Serdan, the cobbler. You're gonna be our future schoolmaster. Are you getting
Hello.
arrows from the... No, you're just kidding. He'll eventually make arrows. Might take a while. We're on it. And I may have assigned people early, but I don't know exactly when he's going to have the arrows finished. So, better to assign them now and let the arrows get made than try and figure out the opposite direction. We do, however, want this. I wonder where our money went. Oh, it went on the garden paths. Look at that! They built them really fast because all the gold and stone was ready to go. I guess the gold is to buy flowers. But from where? I don't know. Maybe somebody walked out of the village into the nearest town. Who knows? This basket shop is almost done. I'm gonna have less people working as laborers. That's cool. Baskets are neat. Building's a bit crooked. Let's smooth it out. Oh, come on. I do it from both directions, that way it keeps... Because if you don't, that's the largest square you can make. And you see that it doesn't do a full block of 9s, right? So this is 9s, 1, 2, 3. That's 9 in the direction. 1, 2, 3. That's 9 in the other direction. So that's a square of 9s. And it doesn't fill the whole square of 9s. And so if you keep leveling the land, you're going to get a road that's lopsided, where it's being pulled into one direction or another. And it's going to look awful. So to prevent that from happening, I do it both directions so that it smooths one way and it smooths the other way, and it tries to balance out the effect. One food. One food. Have a month of food left. You know what? You are coming over here and gathering those so that you can keep the people alive. And you, friends, where are in existence? You're coming over here and you are gathering. Yeah. Keep us alive, dear friends. Keep us alive. I wonder if that's not a better direction to harvest in. Well, those are a lot of nuts. It's fine. Oh, a house got upgraded because they liked the garden path. Yep, now it's time to build this. We've made a surprising amount of gold. Like, usually I'm not making this much gold this early, but that's because we never built our watchtower. Negligence. Negligence. Let's build a little park here. And by little, I mean really little. Small plaza, is that what we want? Yep. Small bench. We'll have it leaning up against the corner, right? And then we can have a bush or a small shrub. Like I don't want to build a tree because the lookout tower would be right next to it. There we go. Just to fill that space there. Oh, hold on. Did I hit walls? Work areas are empty and should be moved. Haha! We've run out of trees that direction. Come go grab those trees. And I think we have it listed where we only want mature trees, is that right? Yep, mature trees only. If you upgrade it, you can start planting trees and have a real forestry hut, but you know, right now, come on. Haha, do they have arrows? They've made arrows! Yay! We don't have any arrows in storage, so I'm guessing that they've grabbed each of them 18 arrows. Nice! Went a little bit longer than I planned, but I think it's alright. I want the 15 for the tower first, before I worry about building a trading post. Trading post lets us buy and sell goods with other cities, and we'll get traders that come in randomly. Oh, our flagpole got built. Check out our flagpole. We can upgrade it later, but not until we have a tier 3 town center. And then we have a tier 2. We need 20 homesteads. That's the upgraded shelters. So that's a homestead. That's a shelter. And then a trading post. 200 population. And then resources. Obviously. Let's wait until the end of winter. And then we'll save it. Where are you going? Chopping trees. Okay. I can't seem to focus on them. He's got a basket!
Yes?
Harvesting berries, 51-year-old dressed. Our person with a basic education is working a fairly safe job, I believe. And, they're like the basket maker or something. And then, they're only 20, so they're likely going to live a really nice long life. Being a neighbor. Okay, we're gonna put you back on this. We got all those delicious reeds that we're finally starting to make into something. We have so many reeds. We probably don't need as many as we have. Those are nice. 302. Oh, about the tree. I'm building a bush instead of a tree because I don't want the tree to block the view, but it doesn't actually do anything to block the view. It just looks like it blocks the view. It doesn't actually block your view. So keep that in mind. You can build a whole forest around a lookout tower, and it just works. But I don't think it looks very good. She keeps going all the way to there in order to drop off her goods. So let's build... We'll just restrict what gets put in it, because I don't mind if I lose wood items. I do mind if I lose, like, gold. So we'll just tell the villagers not to stack gold in it. Because when you have a storage unit that's really far away from your town center, you have no way to protect it. So raiders can come from this direction, go right up here, steal everything in it, and run away. Don't want that. And the raiders tend to know where your stuff is. Oh, we flattened that, so now we can bring a road back this way. We won't do it right now, but we can build a road that way now. Eventually. I do stuff sometimes just in planning for the future. Our little place to sit. We have a place to sit in our village. A bench. cute. Let's build a little park. Or a garden. Should we build a tiny park? No, we can't. So, let's build a tiny garden. Medium garden. Build it like that. And then we'll build a maple tree and a park bench. A park bench like that. So that way you can walk past the park bench to see the park. A little garden. And there's a little tree there. The maple tree will grow wonderfully and be the center of our town. That maple tree. Place we all remember when we remember our town. A big maple tree. We can hope. Build site. Oh, we've got a storage depot. Sure. Another house is being upgraded.
Need anything?
Waste. Alta. 32 years old. Thank you, Alta, for sacrificing your health and whatever for keeping our town clean. Time to turn this on, isn't it? Still need the 12 for that, though. Is there just... oh, no, there's plenty. Let's, get all the bushes and everything around the lake. Just clear the lake of all the brush. The pond. Huh. All of our deer came back. Sure don't know how that works. 10 laborers. New Year's. I want to keep playing, but I think I need to give everybody else a break. We are in Mudsford. We're gonna do Mudsford number 3, and that's the end for right now. I will play again, and we will enjoy building our town and see how big we can get it. Thanks very much. Bye bye.